All right, what's up, guys? David Sherwack here, back with another episode of the Raptors wrap-up. Oh my goodness, the Raptors have won again. That is 13 straight wins. I actually can't believe we've won 13 in a row. Man, the Raps go into Indiana following Wednesday night's crazy game, Serge hitting the game winner, the Raptors coming back down 10 with 2 minutes left. And they follow it up with this performance. This was amazing. The Pacers were desperate once again. They lost 3 in a row coming into this game. They've now lost 4 in a row, so they were desperate once again. And the Raptors weathered the storm. There actually really wasn't a storm. The Pacers didn't play that great. But it just shows, the character of this team. Man, it's impressive how this team just finds a way to win. Lowry goes down in that third quarter. Fred has to finish the game. They still find a way to win. Norm's out, Gasol's out. We're out 3 starters, 3 starting caliber players. And we can still win games against Indiana. Indiana's a good team, too. Man. Okay, let's just start it off with the first quarter. I'm going to shout out Terence Davis and OG later in this because I feel like they were probably the best in today's game. And, yeah, let's start it out with the first quarter here. It was more of an offensive game in that first quarter. Not much defense being played, especially by the Raptors. Raptors hit some tough shots, and Kyle and Fred hit some back-to-back threes to start the game. Kyle banked in his second 3, which was nice to see. Kyle was great tonight before he left with that injury, and hopefully that injury is nothing serious. They say it's just whiplash, so usually whiplash isn't that bad, but it can be, so we'll see. I'm hoping that it's nothing serious. Pascal then hit a step-back 3. It was a 5-0 run by Pascal by himself. That brought the lead to 14-9. Great offensive start. But the lackluster defense really kept the Pacers in it. Defense was really just a step slow, not really getting a hand up on everything. Let's also talk about Lowry passing Vince Carter on the all-time Raptors scoring list. He moved up to 3rd tonight, which is insane. Lowry, definitely the greatest Raptor of all time. Lowry had some great energy. He had a great steal after the Pacers got a rebound. He just ripped it away. He does that a lot. And passed it to Ibaka. Ibaka got fouled and had 2 free throws. So Kyle was playing great in that first quarter. Pascal was also playing great. He had 13 points in that first quarter. Really, that first quarter was the only good part of his game tonight, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. Brogdon was doing what he does. Last game on Wednesday, he was hitting a bunch of tough layups. The same was happening tonight. I don't know how Brogdon gets those layups to fall, but they look almost impossible. He's literally challenging Serge Ibaka, and he does it with the left, and it's super high off the glass. I don't know how Brogdon gets those to go, but he hit a couple of those. And Terence Davis had some threes in that first quarter. Like I said, Pascal finished with 13 in that first. Lowry had 10 in that first quarter. And I think a big part of that Pascal first quarter was the Pacers weren't doubling. On Wednesday, they were throwing so many bodies at Pascal in the paint. They did that later in the game more often, but in the first quarter, Pascal was getting anything he wanted. And that's kind of the story with Pascal against really any team. If you don't double him, he can practically get his shot off against anybody because he's so long, he's so tall. So they did start to double him a little bit later and throw more bodies at him later in the game, and that's what slowed him down. But, a really free-flowing offensive first quarter there. Like I said, the defense wasn't great. The Raptors outscored the Pacers 36-31 in that first quarter, so up 5 at the end of 1. Going into the second there, one part of the defense tonight was the Pacers were getting into the paint way too easily. There was so many lobs thrown. TJ McConnell was getting into the paint. I can't even name how many times TJ McConnell got an open mid-range or an open layup. It was a lot. So the defense wasn't great. Like I said, Lots of points in the paint. The Pacers actually, how many points into the paint did they have? They had, one sec here, using NBA.com. They had 54 to our 44, so it definitely seemed like more than that, but lots of those points in the paint were open. And as we saw with the first two games against the Pacers this season, they were shooting really well from beyond the arc. Tonight, they came back down to their averages. I think they averaged somewhere around 10 threes a game. They shot 29% tonight from threes, so not great for them from the three-point line, which is nice. That's probably the main key to the game, to defending this team, bringing those averages back to their average. So, yeah, how many threes did they hit? That's 5, 6, 8. They hit 10 threes, so yeah, that's their average. So good job by the Raptors defending the three-point line, but like I said, that did lead to some open paint points. Sabonis had a good night tonight. He was feasting when Boucher was in the game. When Boucher checked in and when Boucher had to guard Sabonis, it was not pretty for the Raptors. Sabonis had 19 points and 16 boards, so he was feasting on the boards. And Boucher's he's too small to guard, not in terms of height, but he's just too small to guard Sabonis. So that's a tough matchup for Boucher. But when Serge was in, Serge did a good job contesting those shots. And yeah, what else? What else in the second quarter there? OG was struggling to start the game, but like I said, I'm going to talk about OG a little bit more. He hit a huge three in that second quarter there. After that, he got in the paint, got fouled, got to the free throw line. And overall, not the greatest first half. I think he had 5 in the first half. He did play limited minutes because he had 3 fouls in that first half, so wasn't the best start for OG, but he definitely turned it around in that third quarter, which I'll talk about. TJ McConnell was just beating Fred to the bucket a lot, getting into the paint. McDermott hit a couple of threes, so he stayed hot. Indiana, just a lot of transition points, which was not fun to watch, but as long as we were guarding the three, it didn't seem to hurt us that much. So fast break points, actually, never mind. You know what? That's weird. It seemed like watching the game, the Pacers had a lot of fast break points, but they only had 6, and the Raptors had 27. Maybe it seemed with like all the open layups, but there was lots of lobs too, so that's weird how there was only 6 fast break points. So, yeah. Overall, a good second quarter there. I think the Raptors got it to a 9-point lead at one point in that quarter. But the Pacers ultimately won that quarter by 4, so the lead was only 1 going into the half. So anybody's game. Every game this season against this team has been, or between these two teams, have been competitive, which is cool to see. All close games, so obviously this one wasn't going to be any different. So, third quarter here. This is when OG came alive. I was so happy to see OG have a good quarter. He had 11 points in the quarter. OG, a nice steal, a nice dunk in traffic. That was a really nice dunk. He had 3 defenders around him, so that was nice to see. He hit a couple of threes, which was nice to see. And overall, that sparked the 9-0 run. It was 75-75. Raptors went on a 9-0 run and stretched the lead to 84-75. So, Raptors were slowly putting this game away. Kyle in that third quarter was great until he got injured. Like I said, whiplash. I hope that's nothing serious. The way he ran into Serge, his neck kind of twisted all weird, which I'm hoping it's not because I remember Kemba Walker earlier in the season had a similar kind of injury where he ran into one of his teammates and his head did that kind of weird motion. And he was out for a little bit, I think. They did take concussion protocol. They didn't tonight. It was just whiplash. So hopefully Kyle's okay. Overall, Pacers were getting frustrated in that third quarter there. The game slipping away from them a little bit. And they showed some frustration, started turning the ball over quite a bit in that third quarter. In terms of the turnover margin, the Pacers had 20 turnovers. I remember on Wednesday, they had somewhere near 20 turnovers as well. So Raptors won the turnover battle. The Raptors did turn it over 16 times, so not great on that front, but they forced 20 from the Pacers, so that's really nice to see. Yeah. Moving into the fourth quarter there, Freddie hit a big three. You can always count on Freddie to hit some big shots to start that fourth quarter. That brought the lead to, 7? Yeah, because the Raptors led by 4 after the third, so puts the lead at 7. And then the Raptors went in a little bit of a drought there because no Kyle, there was no Pascal. They just really couldn't get anything going. Pat McCaw was on the floor. Shout out to Pat McCaw. But yeah, Serge hit a big three, brought the lead to 5. Then every time the Raptors would hit a shot, at least for a little bit in that fourth quarter, the Pacers would respond, hitting some threes. The closest the Pacers got it was to 2 in that fourth. And then from there, Terence Davis takes over, starting it off with an and one with a pass from Rondé. First off, that was a really nice pass from Rondé, so shout out to Rondé. He had also a couple nice plays tonight. Rondé finished with, let's see here. Rondé finished with 6 points, 5 boards, 3 assists. Like I said, a couple of nice passes, so shout out to Rondé for a good game. That and one from Davis. I thought a really interesting sequence in there was McDermott had 2 open threes. He missed that first one, an open one. I definitely thought that was going in for sure. This is when it was like a 5-point game still, I'm pretty sure. And they got an offensive board. He got another open one, and he missed it. The Pacers really just couldn't hit a shot. It was really deflating overall. So yeah, Pacers really couldn't hit anything. Kind of the energy was taken out of the building at that point. TD also blocked McDermott's 3. That was an insane play. I don't even know how he got over there. He was literally like at the other side of the court. Not the other side, but the other wing, it seemed like. And he literally just sprinted over there. McDermott shot it, and man, that was a nice block. Shout out to Terence Davis for that defensive play. He brought it offensively and defensively tonight. He hit another big 3. He had a nice 10 or a nice putback dunk. I can't speak. That put the lead to 10. And then, one more play there. Terence Davis almost murdered Miles Turner. That would have been insane. He went up. Terence Davis is not scared to challenge the bigs in the paint, and he almost dunked that right on Turner's head. That would have been insane. Miles Turner also almost had a really nice dunk on Serge, I think. So a couple of almost posters in tonight's game. And yeah, what else here? That was pretty much it. Pacers couldn't really do anything down the stretch. We led by 10 with like 2 minutes left, and I was scared. Maybe the Pacers were going to do a switcheroo and do what we did last game and come back down 10, 2 minutes left at home. But too much experience. The Raptors are too experienced. They're not going to allow that to happen. And yeah, that is the win. That's the W. And that is 13 wins in a row. Just adding to our franchise best win streak. Without Kyle Lowry for the fourth quarter, without Norm, without Marc Gasol, this Raptors team just continues to impress. Like, man. Oh yeah, one more play here. This is probably the play of the game, or it's either TD's block on McDermott or Rondé. Rondé had a nice kind of semi-poster on Justin Holiday. Definitely a nice play, a good pass by Serge. Serge had a couple of nice passes in this one. I remember, it might have been a couple days ago that Serge was talking about him learning from Gasol and improving his passing game. So shout out to Serge, man. Throwing some nice dimes tonight. And let's go over the stats a little bit. Serge played 40 minutes tonight. I just realized that because obviously Gasol's out, and Boucher that was a tough matchup, like I said, for Boucher. He only played 7 minutes tonight, trying to guard Sabonis some of the time. And then even Miles Turner, that would be a tough matchup as well. Even though Miles Turner doesn't really go in the paint that much, he's not really the greatest finisher. He's not the best in the paint. He's got a nice 3-point shot, but overall, those are tough matchups for Boucher, so he didn't play that much tonight. Overall, the starting lineup with a balanced effort. Each player scored 15 points or more. OG, like I said, had a great game. 16 points, 5 for 8 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3. Pascal struggled. He literally scored 13 points in the first quarter, and then he didn't score in the second, didn't score in the third, and then scored 2 points in the fourth quarter there. Serge with 22 and 10. Serge continues his amazing play as a starter. And Fred had 23 boards, 7 assists, 2 steals. Fred is always going to get those steals for you. OG, I didn't even see this. OG had 5 steals tonight. If that doesn't impress you, I don't know what does. What a great game from OG. OG's been struggling recently. He put up 0 against the Pacers last time, and I remember he had a couple other 0-point games. So definitely nice to see OG playing some great defense, getting some buckets, hitting some threes, and yeah, Kyle, like I said, was great before he went out. 11 dimes from Kyle tonight. Terence Davis was 17, and that's about it. Obviously a shorter rotation as it's been the past couple of games, but Gasol isn't going to be rushed back soon. I feel like Serge has been playing a lot of minutes, so I don't know. It probably is a good decision not to rush Gasol back before the All-Star break, but also Serge has been playing a lot of minutes, so we'll see. Hopefully Kyle's okay, like I said, and other than that, that's pretty much it. That's 13 wins in a row, which is insane. The Pacers fall to 31 and 21, so they're actually 6 in the East now. The Raptors improved to 38 and 14. That is an insane record. They already had a better record through 51 games than the Raptors last year with Kawhi, and improving on that record with the win tonight. So hopefully we can make it 14 tomorrow. It's going to be a tough one. It's against Brooklyn at home. Actually, it probably won't be that tough. It's Brooklyn. They suck. So, yeah, it's a back-to-back, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys like this video. Make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.